engineer. Wow, I should turn that volume down. So on the last day, I decided to retrofit hydrogen fuel tanks and thrusters onto the mining bar that I built. Previously I had it down over there, and then I moved it back close to over here at the base of the mountain to mine the iron and cobalt and nickel that was there. I'm deciding to move the ship off this planet and to mine the asteroids nearby, but to still focus on developing this planet. So what I've done is I've added two upward... well, first off, I built two hydrogen tanks onto here, and then each one has a set of thrusters, two going up, two going down. Now I have just one hydrogen thruster for forward, but then two for back to help slow it down. Now, when I started building the tanks onto here, I was actually building it down there, but I forgot that the hydrogen fuel tanks have an enormous weight to them. A ton, actually. So the issue I ran into is that the atmospheric thrusters couldn't support the weight of the hydrogen fuel tanks on top of it, and so the ship began to slowly fall to the ground. So I was in a scramble to at least get it up to here, but once I got it up here, it was continuing to fall very quickly, so I had to, in short order, try to build 4 landing gears onto the ship before it either crashed into the station or hit the ground and tumbled down the side of the mountain. But I have it parked on the station here. I had to so delicately land it on top of my little Explorer here. So the other thing I have is I have a lot of pieces in component storage right now. I have enough pieces to build a refinery and an assembler, and I also built a med bay onto the ship. Right now I'm literally waiting for the fuel tanks to fill up. This one's only 1 bar, but this one has 2 bars. Let me see where I'm at. So I got one tank at 34% and one at 60 now. So in a bit, I'm going to take these flying. Do I have... yeah. See, I built this small med bay over here, so in case I die while in space, I can spawn on the ship. What am I doing? Cargo. I like to make separate, cargo cargos for each specific type. So for ore, for ingots, for ice even, I'm going to have one. So I'm going to move all the ores out of here. Now if I had the time when I made this ship, made a conveyor sorter, it would automatically do all of this for me. So I know 5 is ores and 4 is ice. Ice, singular. Did I get it backwards? I got it backwards. Whoops. Ice and... Oops, still backwards. Ice and ore. There we go. Yeah, it's just slowly going with the ice. Where am I at now? So it's still going to be a little bit of a while before I get this ship up and off the ground. That's right. Why am I on my jetpack right now? Oh. I'm pressing C and trying to turn off my jetpack. So in the interim, I'm going to do some grinding on my one ship that crashed over here. This one. I don't really need to collect any of that ore, honestly. I mean, it sucks that I lost it. It would have been nice to have gotten this ship. I mean, really, if this hadn't crashed, I probably would have stayed on the planet. But it's a start. I literally almost went to grind the ore itself. I'm probably one of the few people who have, honestly, since planets came out, I haven't really done a lot of space. I've spent most of my time on Space Engineers playing on planets than I have in space. I still want to make my own custom planet using Blender. I have an idea of how to create the height maps to create a planet. So I'll figure that out at one point. Like I said, the thing I deal with when playing solo versus multiplayer is I don't have to deal with the threat of other players, but I also have nobody to turn to. So it's just gonna fall down the mountain. Give me 1 second here. Sorry about that. Our cat went missing yesterday, so I heard what I thought was a cat crying outside. But it turned out to be just our current house cat that didn't run away. crying at the end of the hallway, so... let's see. That's a jump. Is that all ice? A lot of it. Alright, we are heading to sunset already. It's amazing how fast essentially 1 hour goes. Basically it's a 2-hour cycle in this game setting, although sometimes they consider increasing it, but at the same time I really don't want to have 3 hours of darkness. So the 1 hour turnaround time's not bad. Half an hour would be too fast for each cycle. Wow, this takes forever. So, 64%. I feel like I would burn out of all of my hydrogen in incredibly short order. I don't know if I've shown this part. This is sort of my main deck, not main deck, my, what do you call this? This is where all my energy sources are, my gyros. I could probably get rid of 1 or 2 of these cargoes. Actually, I could maybe put it here. Attach the refinery down here. But I still want to be able to upgrade it and put productivity modules on it. So that's why I think on the main floor it will work. I'll just have to figure out how I want to break up the main floor. I really don't know how I'd make that work, but let's see. And there's a lot of options with planets people haven't explored. I haven't seen a lot of planets with really exotic atmospheres, but then again, I haven't checked out all the planets on the workshop. Let us see, what do we got here? I mean, even this planet is curious and has a lot to hold. It's just a very horrible place to start your game, so I've learned. So I know, how many planets do I have? I have 12 planets in total. That's including the 3 base moons. So I have 9 individual full-sized planets. Aqueous, Halus, Hoth, Murdon, Ravkor, and Zess. So I know this one is Zess. It's either Hoth or Halus. This is Ravkor. That should be Murdon. And then I honestly cannot remember where the others are. I think I put them super far away. I might go back and add individual moons to each of these planets. I'd probably do it from the surface. Then again, what would be the point? My goal with each of these planets, as I explore space, it's easy when you're playing by yourself to not have to worry about resource management. You're literally by yourself. But I think what I like is the actual building part of it, but doing it on survival mode. When you do it in creative, it's cool, you have no limits. You can create really astonishing things in short order, but when you actually have to build it from the resources you mine, it makes you think a little bit more about what you're building. Like, for instance, I probably don't need these decorative sides here, and it's probably adding weight to the plane that I don't need right now, but I just kind of want to do it. That's what I wanted to do. I forgot to complete the other side of it. Sorry, I didn't mean to whistle while I'm playing. Just, I'm like my father, I sometimes can't stop making noise, and I feel weird when I'm not making a sound. This will be interesting, because this doesn't connect like the other piece as well. So 5. Eventually I'm going to build, obviously, construction ships, so I don't have to fly around using up hydrogen to do this. Then again, when I'm in space, I won't have to worry about it. I'm curious, though, in space, if I'm still going to use hydrogen to fire myself around if I don't have to use it. Also, the skybox I'm using is the Milky Way skybox. My only complaint about it is that it doesn't look... I believe it's based on a photograph, but to me it's too detailed. Like, some of the points are too clear. If they're a little bit softer, a little bit fuzzier to give that sense of being far away, I'd like a little bit more, but it's not terrible. I can live. Okay, drag. the weirdest drag and drop issues right now. And I want this to go into component. They said most of these components are going to be to build the assembler and refinery once this is in space. I don't want to build it right now because I don't have that added weight holding the ship down. I don't know why it is when I live stream, my whole thing gets super sluggish. So I can just probably combine all of these. Click on one thing, it drags something else. We should be good there. Let's check on my hydrogen levels. Hydrogen tank 1, finally at 43%. That one at 68%. It's that weird thing where the whole planet gets dark, but my ships stay illuminated no matter how far away they are. I know I have some wreckage down there. I could probably mine for some extra metal. Let me see. It's probably the encoding that is making my gaming experience so slow. Let's see. Edit. The other part I like about playing on planets is that passage of time in your environment changing, where when you're in space it doesn't really. But I'm looking forward to getting back into space, so to speak. I'm just going to see if there's anything else on this base I want to shut down. I'm probably going to move this here because I don't need it soaking up space, especially underneath this beast here. Right, carefully, 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 carefully. All right. Just gonna bring this around to the other side here. And because I'm not going to be back for a while with this, I can turn off. I like to always group my thrusters if I can. Thrust. Save. That way when I'm not around, it's not eating up uranium. So this just sitting here parked has 3 years on it. Eventually I'll come back and mine that other ship. What the hell, whatever. See, I'm tempted to go to this planet because it looks so cool at night, but I don't want to make the mistake of like being on this planet. This planet here probably is going to be my next planetary destination, but I first want to establish a space station and then reestablish a presence down on here. I know that sounds silly, I'm playing by myself, but that's just how nerdy I am. I think being able to play like this solo will help me out in some respects, not entirely when I go to play again in multiplayer. I think this makes me a little bit more frugal with what I build, because I literally, when I was playing one of the multiplayer servers, I made the most hodgepodge or explorer that I called the Gypsy Wagon, because I just kept building it and I couldn't remember what color I chose, so I had colors from I think every color family on there: purple, red, green, blue, orange, black, and white. It was just a hodgepodge of colors. So yeah. Alright. But yeah, the planet gets dark, but my ship remains as illuminated as ever. Is it a graphic setting that I'm just unaware of? Is my gamma way up or something? Grass density, shadow, custom, hardware, DirectX. Okay. Game. Building mode, line, plane, blah blah blah. I don't know what it is. My game is so... Even my ship... There's like no true darkness in my ships no matter where I go. Even if I look down here where there's no light, it's still pretty bright. Maybe that's an effect of one of the mods I have. After tonight, I'm going to be removing the mid-space admin mod commands, because it's too easy, it's too tempting to just sit there and type in TP-P3 to go to one of the planets, or using lift ships. Half-ass cargo relay, well, that's gone. Bits and pieces. I have no idea what that is. Then I have all this stuff, all these other random ships that are out there. This one's right here, my station, Yellowbird, you're in pieces. No idea, no idea, no idea. And then all this other stuff. A good chunk of this was probably spawned when that one ship was on its way. Drill ship, moon. Oh, that goes back to the moon base that I kind of started on. Originally I was going to start this experience on the moon, but honestly I've never played the moon and I wanted to try something different. I gave myself a little bit of a cheat. I built this base, I used this ship, but I didn't want it to be from bare bones, because I've done bare bones God knows how many times. Yeah, I'm a little bit tired of waiting. I want to see if I have enough hydrogen to get me going off this planet. I don't think the atmosphere is that crazy big, but we're going to find out in a second. I'm trying to remember my last ship. I feel like my last ship wasn't full either, but it got pretty far. Let me just see where I'm at. Oh, hydrogen tank. Alright. We're gonna give it a go. And we are slowing down. So I'm either going to have to shed weight, which I really don't know what that's going to be, or I'm going to have to build additional thrusters onto this to get it off the planet. I don't like how it's coming back down that fast. But I know once it gets closer to the surface, it will chillax, as they say. So I can build... I really don't like that. It is coming way too fast at the ground. Yeah, this is gonna crash. Oh, damn it. And I normally don't do this, but I am playing in solo mode. Right, this is a little bit of cheating, but it was an experiment. I have that option where I know in multiplayer I wouldn't. But I also didn't know. Again, this is cheating. I'm also starting out. I know I'm making up like a million excuses, but first I want to get rid of... I have a lot of mods on here. You can go. But I'll see, I'm a little bit tired for the night. I've had a long day. I'm still looking for our cat. So this is a short live stream. It's only half an hour. I'm off of work tomorrow, so I'll probably stream more then. Alrighty. Well, have a good night.